Welcome to Preschool All Stars podcast. I'm your host, Sharice Ellison, and with me today I have our Preschool All Star, Quinn Cooper. Hey, Quinn, how are you?
Hey girl, hey.
How are you?
I cannot complain. Super excited to be with my sister and friend. What's up, bestie?
What's up, bestie? Awesome. I'm so excited to be able to interview you today and talk about your journey through Preschool All Stars and how you started and where you're at now. And so, yeah, let's go back to the past a little bit. And so, what was your life like before you had found Preschool All Stars, and what were some of the things that you were kind of struggling with?
So before I found Preschool All Stars, I was a campus administrator at a preschool campus that had about 600, just under 700, 3 through 6 year olds. Um,
Wow.
and I had already decided that I was going to leave the field. My husband kind of was the catalyst for that. And so I got ready to leave and I did. I found Preschool All Stars in October of 21. And then oh yeah, he decided we decided that I was going to quit my job that year, that 2022 was going to be my last year in education for public school. So we found Preschool All Stars in October 2021. And then January of 2022, I got in. February, I kind of had our plan ready from the book, and I found a location to rent in March. In April, I submitted my resignation, and in June, I moved into our new place and we opened our doors to our 14 summer learning camp students. So June 6th is our anniversary. It's our anniversary or birthday. I don't know, whichever one you want to
No,
call
I
it.
always get confused too. I say bursary or birthversary or something like that. I
Birthday.
made up I made up something and all of a sudden it's not coming to me. But anyways, so in building your preschool, so you obviously you found Preschool All Stars. So once you found a Preschool All Stars, why did you decide to join Preschool All Stars?
Listen, so I knew that I really needed some help to do it. I remember like asking, I swear to God, because like I said, I we had already decided that I was gonna quit. And I remember asking a girl who I went to church with, and I was like, hey, you have a child care center. I'd love to learn, just to kind of sit under you, learn how you do what you do, learn how you started a business. This is crazy. That's amazing. Oh, girl, yes. Whenever you're ready, you just come on. I called, I text. I saw her in a children's ministry. We worked together on the same Sundays. I worked first, third, and fifth. And she was like, hey, girl. I was like, hey, well, we could get together. And I mean, she would ghost me every single time. Well, I found out this is like a going trend. When it comes down to you trying to start a business, especially in childcare, you will get a lot of people that almost act like it's not enough children in the world for us. The fact of the matter
Right,
is, as long as people like being grown, it's always going to be kids for us, right? So we're
right,
always going to have clients, we're always going to have children. But it was that mentality that I couldn't get over. So I started looking for a program. I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need a mentor. I'm going to need a mentor. And up in the middle of the night, I saw an ad and I was like, let me go ahead and get on it. Convincing my husband was a little challenging, but I did it. But I needed to learn from people who had successfully done it. And while I did have people in my family who had run centers, owned centers, none of those centers were actively going in 2022, which either
right,
meant that you either successfully could not do it or you could not pass that lineage in a way that you didn't learn how to run your business properly. Let's just say it like
right,
that. Because if you did, it would be your kids' business and your kids' business, right? It wouldn't be
right,
it wouldn't be sold. So I
right,
knew that I needed to find a group of people who are like-minded, but also the book in itself. I just had the book first. And in all actuality, I built the business on the book. When I got into the program, when I got into Preschools All Stars, is that's where I got the book with the gold nuggets. The group is the mind, if that makes
right. Same. I started also with just the book
sense.
as well before I joined Preschool All Stars. And so I was like, oh, wait, this goes in more in depth in Preschool All Stars than the book did. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, definitely. I was
I
like, "Man,
definitely yes, had more, I had the nuggets, but then it was like in depthness, when you got in preschool all stars, it was just like the taste, kind of like a cake tasting, like as a book, and then you get into preschool all stars, it's the actual cake
Yeah.
that you've chosen.
I definitely say it like that because when you get inside of the group, that's when you get the support that you truly need. A lot of times people are looking at it on the outside and they stay in the preschool system for whatever reason. But if you're truly ready to start your business, you have to invest in yourself, move forward. When you move forward, you start seeing a whole lot. You see something different. You get the support, and you were like my first set of support. So while I had this idea of this business, and I drafted it out. I had it on paper. I was doing the things. I went and got my Wix account. I did all the things that I knew to do. I got in here and it was support Saturday. And I was like, yo, this chick knows some stuff. And that is actually how we became friends. I started showing up every Saturday because I needed what you had. And that's what this group has. While you are an expert in this field, it's a whole lot of experts in this field. I'm an expert in education. Baby, I was a bad mama jamma in the classroom, and I was a bad mama jamma running an entire campus of 700 children. I ran an entire
Right.
campus of ninth grade kids. I can run a campus. But let me tell you what is hard running a daggone child care center. Running the preschool has been the most exhausting thing I've ever done in my life. That is all. No joke.
Right. So with that, so what kind of struggle have you had since, okay, you've joined Preschool All Stars now, you started your preschool. So what kind of struggles did you now encounter once, owning a preschool?
Enrollment, enrollment, enrollment,
Okay,
enrollment,
so
enrollment.
so
So
enrollment. So how many did you start with and how many do you have now?
we started with 14. And of course,
Okay.
these are like, I did Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that was our summer learning camp. So we started off with 14, two of those children actually being mine. So we started off with 12 paying customers, right? In the fall, we rolled over to, oh goodness, I actually pulled this up so I can like look at it. In 2022, I might have ended up with 12. And so I think I was bringing in about 3 grand, 4 grand per month with that group of children. Um, yeah, about 3 grand to 4 grand a month. So probably about 12 children. And then of course I had half day program only. I did not have a full day program at all at the time. And so I had to learn what it was that my community needed. So
Hmm.
one of the biggest things that we push is a preschool, right? We want you to come 3 to 5, be 3 to 5 years age to come in because it is less tasking, right? When they're 3-year-olds, they are typically potty trained. They can advocate for themselves a tiny bit. They're able to do more academically, work more. You can do more with them. But the fact of the matter is that the older the child gets, the more likely they're somewhere. And that
Right.
was the thing that you told me. So I remember coming to you and us talking. Because, like I said, for those that don't know, I met Sharice on a support Saturday, and I just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming, mostly because I wanted to survive in this game and I knew that I was going to need help to do it. I had no background in early childhood education outside of working in childcare centers for family and then going to college and working inside of the childcare centers at college, but I didn't know how to run my own. I'd never been a director before. So I kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And she coached me up. So today, starting at 12, I have a full house of 48. Our capacity
Right.
is 50. And so when we're looking at what we're doing and how we function and how we learn how to do stuff, your best bet is always to pull from somebody else who's been there, done that, and knows the tricks of the trade. If you're not, you're spinning your wheels or reinventing the wheel, which is unnecessary in this case. So enrollment was my biggest problem. And so it was we opened in 2022, and at the time of 2022, you were like, hey, fall of 22, you were like, you might want to consider having a 2-year-old program. And I was like, eh. I didn't want to do the potty training. I didn't, and I really couldn't in my brain, how could I make this thing work? How could I do a 2-year program? And for those that don't know, yes, I run a center now, but I started off with just me. in a church building. I opened leased a space and I rented all the rooms in a church building because I believe in I believe in actions of faith, right? So I'm like, I want to see my faith in action. So I rented the entire building. Did I need an entire building? No. Did I get it? Yes.
Yeah.
Have I filled all the rooms? Ow. Yes.
Right?
Working
Yes.
on filling the sanctuary now.
Mm.
Come on, Jeebus. Okay, so when you talk about it, you were like, hey, get a 2-year-old program. Because you said to me, the older these kids get, the more likely they're somewhere else. And the only way you're gonna get them is if they had a bad experience or they're just straight up ill behaved bad. And I was like,
Or they've moved into the neighborhood.
moved into the neighborhood. So a couple different things, but that's really hit or miss. So until your name is out there, until you're big enough, you may want to consider that 2-year-old program. And Reese, I did want to kind of show the people if possible. Are you okay with me showing a
Sure.
screen, just a little clip? So this is when I first started. When I first started the preschool, um, I was when I first started the preschool, like I said, it was just me. I got a nanny because I have 2 children, and my 2 children are here. This is my baby, and this is my little baby. He wasn't even
Yeah. He
18.
wasn't even two yet, right?
No, he turned 2 in August. So all these babies, this is February 18th of 2023. He turned 2 2022,
Oh, so
August.
he was already two then.
He turned 2. It was he had his birthday in that classroom right there with
Yeah.
these 2-year-old friends. So she's 2, he's 2, she is 2, and Dawson is 2. These 3 guys right here are all 3 years old. And if I could recommend anything, is I would recommend you do it on a different day. Because or at a different time slot. So these were Tuesday, Thursday, half day AM students only. They only came Tuesdays and Thursdays in the AM. And let me kind of show you what I mean by that. Oh, this one has 2 diagonal lines, so this is a Y, yes?
No. No, that's the X.
Hmm.
No.
Well, maybe this one has 2 lines that.
No. No, that's the A. Yeah. Yeah, it's like mine.
Well, then maybe
You lost it.
this one.
Yes. Yes. It's rather wide. Yes.
Let's look at it again. Is that the Y?
Yes. Yeah.
How about this one?
No.
Is that the Y?
It's not
Is this the Y?
I know. Yes, it is a Y. It is a Y. No. Yes, it is.
It's a Y. This is a Y. It has 3 lines. 1, 2, 3 at the top.
Come here, Dawson. Come here.
Yes, you can take it apart, but it's the. So that was just like a tiny clip. My nanny caught that when I was teaching. So she would come in and she would care for my boys, so that I could teach my AM and my PM session. But 2-year-olds are squirrely. Like you see my brand new 2-year-old on the floor, he's rolling around on the floor, he's crawling. If you would like see videos, he would be like laying down on stuff, or you look at my cameras, he'd be laying down and on top. I swear to God, this little boy right now is 4 years old and still falls asleep every day at 10:30 a.m. So getting through the day was very, very hard for them. But setting up the structure and pulling together activities and fun, you'll see so much greatness out of those 2-year-olds. But the even better part about it is that those 2-year-olds roll up to your 3s, and those 3s roll up into your 4s. And as long as you can build up that relationship and maintain those families, they're going to rock and roll with you. You've had the same thing happen to you, Sharice, where you can definitely attest to when a family loves you, they're going to send their children's children to you. They will literally do just that, because the longer you're in the community, the bigger your name becomes and the greater impact that you make. So you start that 2-year-old program in just a year. Um, these children rode with me. They only recently moved, so they're not with me. This kiddo finally got into kindergarten, so he went to kindergarten, but he stayed with me from 2 to 3 to 4 and left for kindergarten this year. And if you look at what that is in money, he paid 260 per month for 10 months times 3. I made 7,800 off of that one baby.
Right.
So, and now I'm getting baby brother. I mean, getting baby sister, but guess what? I'm getting baby sister at 2. And now my rates are not 260 for a half day.
Right.
Half day doesn't exist for a 2-year-old anymore, right? So now I'm gonna make even more money off the family. Not that I'm saying that you shouldn't make money off of a family, but you definitely need to understand that what you are doing is absolutely a business. So
Right.
business to the best of your ability. And when you're considering that 2-year-old program, I would definitely say you want to do it, give it its own day, because having 2, 3, 4, 5 is not it, you will be crazy. I was crazy and I was crazy in summer 2022 because I had 3 through 7 and it was very hard. It was fun, but it was hard and I needed support. So if you're doing it by yourself, you maybe want to consider giving it its own day. If you're wondering about what to teach them, um, I just did a really, really, really super simple curriculum for them, and it was the same thing over with toddlers, preschoolers, early preschoolers. Everything needs to be very cyclical. So,
Right. Repetition is the mother of all learning.
there we go. Repetition is the mother of all learning. So you want to keep that same thing going for 3 weeks. And so if I showed you what that looked like, you know what? I'll just leave it for our preschool all stars if they want to see it. But I don't actually use it today because today we use a different curriculum. But when I first started, that is what I use. Now I feel like I need to at least show you. But um, it was really, really simple and it's very easy. And so you want to give them stuff that they can do. Parents at that age group really love to see what their babies have done. They're like, what did my baby do? My baby did this.
Right.
Magnificent. It's the most wonderful thing that they've ever seen in their entire life. They want all of it. Literally, they want all of it. They want the picture, they want the activity, they want it all. And so this is kind of like a simple way of doing it, right? It's 10 themes. They need to go to 3 to 4 weeks. You have your literacy. We are a literacy based preschool, so in everything we do, we always do literacy. When I only teach the uppercase letters, I do theme books to go along with it. When it comes down to their numbers, we only do digits, obviously 0 to 9, and we go up to the number 10. We do common two-dimensional shapes and colors. Arts, simple little experiments. And so I started with this and I would just keep building on it. And so I'm like, this is what I want to do. Here's what you do. You keep building on it. If you can just build this out, you can do it yourself. It's super simple. Always start off with all about me, all about my family, all about my school. You can make it match
Right.
school year, September. If you're starting in September, you're automatically walking into back to school, and then you hit fall. Whoop whoop, and then you have Halloween. I came from a time period where you can teach anything if you had a theme and you build from it. And so if you want it to be more academic, you add in your numbers, you keep everything going. You can even make it even more simple and do a letter a week, a letter a month. But I keep this going just like this. And that's really how you just keep it going for those tiny ones.
Right. So you added twos to your program, but then you added ones as
Ooh, the
well.
ghetto, the absolute ghetto. And honey, that's when I started hiring people. Because let me tell you, those big headed babies that you be walking around like this and they fall
Yes.
all over, I was petrified. I have never been so scared in my life.
But let's talk about the fact that how many 1-year-olds have now, because you've had one since what, 2023, right?
Yeah,
Is that correct when they started?
yeah.
And so you've maintained them for the past 2 years, correct? The
I have.
1-year-olds?
I have. I did not take the names off of this, so I can't show it. But in 2023, 23, 24, we started off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 of those are now in the 2 3s class. For the 2-year-olds in 23, 24, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 10 And a total of 8 of those are in our 3-year-old class right now. So they keep rolling up. You want to
Right.
keep them going. It's one of the greatest gifts is that to open a program to having some smaller friends, because those smaller friends stay with you. Um, and my Google reviews will definitely show you how much my families have grown to love us and how much we loved on their babies.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to us taking in someone's child, yes, we're here to teach them, but the familial ties are strong, and
Right.
we have to intercede in that gap. Um, so definitely those that choose to do this, please do not do this lightly. Do not hire lightly. Do not involve people in your world around you and around these babies lightly, because these little intuitive souls, um, they really do mean the world to our future.
So one of the things that, we've learned is the fact that sometimes, Joy has the blueprint, but sometimes our community also has the blueproint of what they need,
Man,
and so maximizing that community to be able to maximize your business as
yeah.
well. So,
She said to pivot to profit, and I literally
mhm,
had to pivot. I was like being stuck only receiving or only accepting 3 through 5s had me at like 3 grand per month. Increasing the amount of children that I could to have brought the business to 12 grand per month. I was literally looking at our numbers for the past 3 years of what it looked like in our program. And today we gross about 25,000. The year prior to, we only grossed about 12 grand. And the year prior to that, it was in the threes and six. The highest it got was to 6, and that was because I only kept that 3 to 5 program. I'm growing now. People know about 3 to 5s in my program, but I'm also battling universal pre-K in Texas, right?
right,
As long as you qualify, you can go. We also have, our numbers are so low in Texas that we have tuition-based pre-K. And in fact, the school districts also know that even if they don't get paid for that kid, that pre-K kid becomes a kindergarten kid. And that
right,
kindergarten kid, they get full payment for. So they're going to take that pre-K baby so that they can have a full kinder class that they're going to get full pay for. So they're even willing to suck it up and catch the loss.
right,
We have to sometimes pivot to profit. Yes, there's a blueprint, like you said, but your community is going to drive your actual business.
right,
Market
right.
research is everything.
Yes, it is. Market research is everything, and knowing your community and what your community's needs are, and being willing to pivot, to be able to um, accommodate that. So, with that, I totally just lost where, oh, there it is. So with that, tell us what do you envision your programming? Because you're entering year 3 this coming summer. And so tell us what it is, from what you envision Q&A preschools becoming in the next 3 to 5 years. Because you're almost 3 years in. So what do you want to see coming up in the next 3 years?
Well, based on my community now, I really want an infant and toddler center. So in the next 3 to 5 years, we will have an infant and toddler center. My families in the area really do like the preschool schedule. We have very, very active, involved families. They really want their children to be involved in something, but they don't want to give up being a mama. They don't want to give up being daddy. They don't want to take away their village. So my 8:30 to 3 p.m. program is full. It's always full. Those kids may come 2 days a week or they may come 3 days a week, but it's always full. And so I really would love to see that same thing on in a center. And as God allows, um, I'm just going to continue to be sensitive to how He's wanting to do things. Um, whether we continue where we are, or move to something bigger, or open more than one, I'm going to continue to do what I've always wanted to do, which was provide quality, affordable care to middle class families. And that's always what I wanted to do because, again, The lower your income is, the more likely you're able to qualify for so many other things. But a family should never have to choose between whether they're going to pay their electricity bill and whether their baby is going to go to a good school.
Right.
But in reality, that is exactly what we're facing. Everything is so much more high. I remember being
Hmm.
a young mama and being like, man, uh I really want my baby to go to this really nice school and it's really nice, but it's so pricey. And on my little teacher's salary, I couldn't afford it. So I was like, all right, well, I'm a teacher anyway. I'm gonna send my baby over to this hood school where people love them, and she might come back speaking languages that I don't even understand. But she was loved, she was cared for, she was everything, and I taught her everything she needed to know. Not everybody has those tools in their tool bag. And so I always wanted to be that resource for my community. I wanted to be able to give those middle class families something back. And that's the foundation is send their babies to school. So if they choose public school, we got you. If you choose to stay with us, we got you up until the second grade because we are also a private school. So I look forward to being able to continue to offer to the community. But honestly, I would love to see Infant and Toddler Center. I'm just gonna go in there and snuggle. I ain't staying. I
I
don't
told
do
you that's the
those.
best part.
I don't do those babies. I don't do those
Like, all right,
babies.
love it. All right, here you go. Bye.
You crying down my stick butt.
Okay. So, so 3 to 5 years, infants through second grade. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I want an infant
Yes.
toddler center. We're gonna keep that that private school rocking. Our homeschool program. We just keep adding, and if I can really get that after school program going, that needs to happen this year. God, this year, Jeebus. So we're working on that. So that is what we're trying to do, and then that's it. Continue to provide literacy-based programming for our community that meets their needs, that is affordable, and you get an impeccable education.
Okay. So, our infamous question that we always ask everybody. So, how is your life better now that you've found that you're in preschool all stars?
I have a community. I have a community. So, not to get all deep with everybody in the world, those that are watching from the outside, that don't join in, I like to describe Preschool All Stars as a big church. Like, where do you go when you need healing? Where do you go when you need peace? Where do you go? You go to church, right? The bigger your church is, the more you have to plug in. We're a big organization. We're a big organization of all women who believe in early childhood education, who believe in children doing great things in their future, and believe that we can make an impact there. But we're also a group of business owners. That's the coolest part. And to
Right?
sit down with women who are doing what they are called to do by purpose is is literally the most amazing gift that we could give ourselves. I sit down with you, I sit down with our other sister friends that are truly our sisters. They are our comrades in life and in business. And we can talk it out. We can bounce questions off of each other. We can say, hey, what do you think about this? We have built real life plans together. I literally have this girl right here on this screen with me has literally, I'm talking to the masses of folk, has literally helped me write grants in which yielded me $130,000 later. Stayed up with me, wrote it with me. You need people in your community. You need a circle. You need a circle. So when it's time and you're here, somebody else can reach up and you can reach down.
Right.
That is what it's supposed to be about. We have got to get into a habit of loving each other, caring for each other, offering grace. And that's what you find here. My life is better because I found a community. Because what you don't get is when you tell the world. When I told the world, I was like, hey, I'm about to quit my job. I make $80,000 a year, but I'm about to quit it and go become poor at nearly 40 with two in college. Because that makes sense to nobody.
Right? Nobody, right? They're like,
Nobody gets your vision because they were
right.
not given that vision. And even though Sharice, you were not giving my vision, Jelly wasn't giving my vision, Natalie, Lakeisha was not giving my vision, Dawn was not giving my vision, Anita was not giving my vision. At the end of the day, we all got a vision and we're all walking in that vision. We got a vision and we started getting those objective steps so we can get to the big picture. We started walking and we started walking together. And when I feel like I don't have feet to stand on, y'all have covered me. Y'all have come. When my mom passed, y'all have come. They have helped me put together present activities. We planning right now for Easter, which is actually the girl's birthday. But guess what? She probably gonna be right here in Texas, helping me do my events because my Spring Fest has gotten so big that we expect 1,000 folk. At the end of the day, it is your village that is going to help you thrive. And that's what I found. That's what's made my life so much better. The village.
So with that then, what would you say your biggest resource or your favorite thing about Preschool All Stars is?
So on the business level, my favorite thing that actually carried me in the beginning before I got too big to do all the stuff on my own was the business aspects of it. For those that don't have the preschool in the box, I definitely recommend you do it. In year one, uh so in year one, I cost myself about $1,500 because I never opened the preschool in the box. And so um, I don't know what I could have did with that $1,500, but it dang sure what I it dang sure isn't what I did with it, which was have to pay somebody to clean up my mess. The business aspects of it is really, really helpful. And my favorite part about Preschool All Stars is actually getting close enough to people who work in business because what you're getting, even without her giving it to you, is you're getting the business model. You're getting how to sell your business. If you get close enough to that girl Joy, you will actually learn some stuff. That's a bad mama jamma. That girl is smart. She is smart. You is smart. You is intelligent. You is a businesswoman because she is. She's everything. And I learned so much by watching. And then I got to come back and be like, hey, what you think about this? And then we and our little mastermind was like, do it. Do it this way. Try this. This is what's worked for us in the past. We've seen this and we started putting together things that successfully worked. So my favorite part about it is truly the business aspect of it. I didn't go to business school. I'm an English major.
Right?
I'm an English major, and then the second one is it's childhood development and family studies, baby. I do home ec. Like I don't do this. I do education. I got a lot of degrees.
Right?
I went to school a lot. Don't worry about it. I couldn't figure out what I want to be when I grew up. But I still don't know business. I'm learning business, and because I'm a part of this
Aren't we
organization,
all?
yeah, Lord, I'm telling you, I'm learning business. But because I'm part of this organization, learning business makes it a whole lot easier. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, so now if somebody was on the fence about joining Preschool All Stars, what would you tell her?
That your vision is your own. Your vision is your own. And you may be met with adversity from the world when you tell them that something is great. You're like Noah. Baby, the storms are coming. Build this ark. Get these here animals. Get your family, get on this boat. It's that same mentality,
Mm-hmm.
right? You People are going to look at you like, girl, what? You want to do why? Like people may even say, hey, you are so good with kids. You should blah, blah, blah. And then won't support you. You honestly have to find people who are going to continue to speak life into you. When things are new, when babies are born, they're not left, human babies, we're not left to our own devices.
Right.
Even spiders are not left to their devices. Typically, a mother will birth their eggs inside of something that they can eat until they're strong enough to run away. When we do this, we have to nourish ourselves, and we do that through community. And you have to be in a group of like-minded individuals that are going to continue to remind you that you have a vision, you have a purpose, there is a plan, and all you have to do is kind of yield yourself and operate in faith. And those action steps are going to carry you the rest of the way. And that is what you'll get in Preschool All Stars. That is truly what you'll get. And you'll see it. You'll see yourself start to grow if you will yield yourself to the support of others.
Right. Amen. That's right. You got to plug yourself in. You can't just join in and not plug in.
Man, because you'll be out there just like if you're in a gigantic church being like, I just want to say hi to Joel Osteen. Joel gonna be up there.
Right?
You ain't gonna get that close to him. You might. But what I'm saying is that the real community of all these big things, big organizations actually starts on in the grassroots of it. Like it's down here. You have to be a part of the branch in order to do something. So you got to plug in, ladies. You got to plug in. So even to our sisters that are on the call watching us, plug in, sisters. Plug in.
Right. That's right. Well, thanks again, Quinn, for joining me today. I appreciate conversating with you today.
Not conversating. I love it. Let's get our conversations on. I love it.
Yes.
I love
All
it.
right. To learn more and to join Preschool All Stars, go to preschoolallstars.com and we'll see you soon. Bye. Thanks again.